The war between Ukraine and Russia brought unimaginable challenges to women. Amidst the chaos and conflict, their lives were upended in strange ways. In a world torn apart, women faced unique struggles and unexpected roles. What were these peculiar circumstances? Let's delve into the heart of it. Number 1. Women taking up arms. The image of women taking up arms is a striking one, especially in a society where traditional gender roles have long dominated. In Ukraine, the war with Russia has shattered many old norms. The Ukrainian military, understanding the dire need for all hands on deck, has actively recruited women. By 2022, more than 32,000 women were serving in the armed forces. This isn't just about filling ranks. Women are stepping into combat roles traditionally reserved for men. Stories like that of Alina Biloziska, a renowned sniper, exemplify this shift. Biloziska's story is one of bravery and skill. She left behind a civilian life to join a volunteer battalion, quickly becoming one of the most effective snipers. Her precision and courage in the face of danger have earned her accolades and respect from comrades and commanders alike. Women are also prominent in volunteer battalions. These units, often formed quickly and with little formal structure, have seen women taking on significant responsibilities. They engage in frontline combat, logistics, medical aid, and intelligence. The war has not only changed the face of the Ukrainian military, but has also reshaped societal perceptions of women in combat. Number 2. The strain on families. The war has torn many families apart, leaving women to navigate a harsh new reality. As men stay to fight, women and children often flee to safer regions or neighboring countries. This separation is not just physical but emotional, creating a strain that is difficult to bear. Women find themselves in the role of single parents, responsible for the safety and well-being of their children, while dealing with the absence and potential loss of their partners. These single mothers face an uphill battle. With limited resources, they must ensure their families survive amidst the chaos. The journey to safety is perilous, with many women undertaking dangerous treks through conflict zones. They face the threat of violence, exploitation, and the uncertainty of not knowing what lies ahead. The psychological impact is profound. Women carry the heavy burden of trauma, not just from the war itself, but from the constant worry for their loved ones. Anxiety and PTSD are common, and the struggle to maintain a semblance of normalcy for their children is a daily challenge. Support networks, both local and international, play a crucial role in providing some relief, but the scars of separation and loss run deep. Number 3. Sexual violence and exploitation. War often brings out the darkest sides of humanity, and the conflict in Ukraine is no exception. Sexual violence has been used as a weapon of war, with countless women falling victim to horrific acts perpetrated by occupying forces. These war crimes are intended to terrorize and demoralize, leaving deep psychological and physical scars. Human trafficking has surged amidst the chaos. The instability and displacement have made women and girls particularly vulnerable. Traffickers exploit their desperation, promising safety and a better life, only to trap them in cycles of abuse and exploitation. It's a grim reality that many women face, often with no way out. Survival sex has also become a tragic necessity for some. Women, desperate to secure safe passage or basic necessities for their families, are forced to exchange their bodies for protection or resources. This stark reality highlights the extreme measures women must take to survive in the face of war. International organizations and NGOs have stepped in to provide support. Shelters, hotlines, and psychological aid are critical lifelines for survivors of sexual violence. These efforts, while crucial, underscore the severe and pervasive impact of sexual violence and exploitation during the conflict. Number 4. The role of female journalists. In the midst of war, truth becomes a powerful weapon. Female journalists in Ukraine have taken on the perilous task of frontline reporting, providing crucial information to the world. Their courage and determination shine through as they navigate war zones, often putting their lives at risk to bring the truth to light. Journalists like Olga Tokaryuk exemplify this bravery. Tokaryuk has reported from some of the most dangerous areas, documenting the realities of war and giving a voice to those who might otherwise be forgotten. Her work highlights the critical role that female journalists play in shaping global perceptions of the conflict. However, their work comes at a cost. female journalists face targeted harassment and threats from both sides of the conflict. They are often seen as easy targets, subjected to intimidation and violence in an attempt to silence their voices. Despite these threats, their resolve remains unshaken. These journalists also act as advocates, highlighting the rights of women and children affected by the war. Their reporting brings attention to issues that may otherwise be overlooked, such as sexual violence and the plight of displaced families. By documenting war crimes and human rights abuses, they play a vital role in the pursuit of justice. Number 5. Women in resistance movements. Women have been at the forefront of resistance movements, playing crucial roles in both organized and grassroots efforts. They have taken to the streets in protest, organized humanitarian aid, and engaged in cyber resistance. Their contributions are diverse and impactful, often operating behind the scenes but making significant strides. Grassroots organizing is a hallmark of this resistance. Women have formed networks to provide support and resources to those in need. They organize protests, coordinate aid distribution, and ensure that their communities have what they need to survive. Their work is a testament to their resilience and resourcefulness. In the digital realm, female tech specialists and hackers have joined the fight. They disrupt enemy communications, counter propaganda, and protect sensitive information. This cyber resistance is a modern form of warfare, and women are proving to be formidable opponents in this domain. Symbolic figures like Yulia Marushevska, who gained fame for her speech during the Euromaidan protests, continue to inspire. Her passionate advocacy for freedom and justice resonates deeply, embodying the spirit of resistance that drives many women. Additionally, cultural preservation efforts by women help maintain a sense of identity and continuity amidst the chaos. Number 6. Displacement and refugee challenges. The war has forced millions of women and children to flee their homes, becoming internally displaced or refugees in neighboring countries. This mass displacement presents a host of challenges, from finding shelter to securing basic necessities. The journey itself is fraught with danger, and the destination often offers little relief. Refugee camps and temporary shelters are frequently overcrowded and lack adequate facilities. Women and children, already traumatized by the conflict, face additional hardships in these environments. Basic needs such as food, clean water, and medical care are often in short supply, compounding their suffering. Integration into new communities is another significant hurdle. Refugees encounter language barriers, cultural differences, and discrimination. Women, in particular, struggle to find employment and stability in unfamiliar surroundings. These challenges can lead to feelings of isolation and hopelessness. Support networks and international organizations play a crucial role in aiding these displaced families. They provide essential services, including legal aid, healthcare, and education. These efforts help mitigate some of the difficulties faced by refugees, offering a semblance of stability and hope in an otherwise dire situation. Number 7. Economic hardships. The economic impact of the war has been devastating, particularly for women. Many have lost their jobs as industries like agriculture and tourism, heavily affected by the conflict, have collapsed. With traditional employment opportunities dwindling, women are forced to find alternative means of supporting their families. The informal economy has become a lifeline for many. Women engage in small-scale trade, home-based businesses, and other informal activities to make ends meet. This economic shift requires adaptability and resilience, as women navigate new roles and responsibilities in an unstable environment. Access to financial aid and support is often limited. Government resources are stretched thin, and international aid, while helpful, can't cover all needs. Women rely heavily on community support and networks to get by. These informal systems of aid and cooperation highlight the strength and solidarity among women during the crisis. Despite the hardships, some women have developed innovative solutions to economic challenges. Cooperative businesses, skill-sharing networks, and other community-based initiatives have emerged as viable alternatives. These efforts not only provide economic relief but also foster a sense of community and mutual support. Number 8. Healthcare and maternal challenges. The war has severely disrupted healthcare services in Ukraine, with many facilities destroyed or repurposed for military use. This disruption has particularly dire consequences for women, especially pregnant women and mothers. Access to prenatal care, safe birthing facilities, and general healthcare is often limited or non-existent. Maternal health is at significant risk. Pregnant women face increased dangers due to the lack of medical services. Complications during pregnancy and childbirth become life-threatening in the absence of adequate care. This grim reality underscores the vulnerability of women in conflict zones. The psychological toll of the war also affects maternal mental health. Increased cases of postpartum depression and anxiety are reported, exacerbated by the constant stress and trauma of war. Women struggle to cope with their own mental health issues while also caring for their children in a hostile environment. NGOs and international organizations have stepped in to provide essential healthcare services. Mobile clinics, mental health support, and emergency medical care are some of the critical services offered. These efforts are life-saving, but the overall healthcare situation remains dire, highlighting the urgent need for continued support and intervention. Number 9. Education disruptions. The war has led to widespread school closures, disrupting the education of millions of children. This disruption places an additional burden on women, who must find ways to ensure their children continue learning amidst the chaos. Makeshift classrooms in homes and online learning have become the new norm. Women often take on the role of educators, facilitating their children's education while managing other responsibilities. This dual role is challenging, especially with limited resources and ongoing instability. The educational gaps resulting from these disruptions are significant, with long-term implications for children's futures. Girls, in particular, are at risk of missing out on education. Traditional gender roles and the demands of survival can lead to girls being pulled out of school to help at home or to avoid danger. This exacerbates existing inequalities and jeopardizes their future opportunities. International programs and NGOs provide critical support for continued education. They offer resources, create safe learning environments, and advocate for the rights of displaced children to education. These efforts are vital in ensuring that the next generation can build a future despite the ongoing conflict. And that's it from this video. See you in the next one.